Cup cars ready to qualify at Worldwide Technology Raceway just outside St. Louis. Let's check with Jamie.
Our friend Daniel Suarez getting ready for qualifying. The good thing is your teammate Ross Chastain goes out in the first group. So what kinds of things are you watching for, listening for your run?
You know, with the technology that we have today, it's incredible all the stuff that we can see, you know. Not only on my teammate Ross, but on everyone. You know, we can scan everyone. We can see the data, you know, on S&T of everyone. So it's pretty incredible. So to be in the second group is a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the balance of the car. If you have a fast car or a slow car, you know, that's not going to fix it. But at least on the balance, it's going to help a little bit. But overall, you know, everyone in the 99 group have done a good job today. I feel like the car actually has pretty good speed in the short run. We have a little bit of work to do in the long run. But we'll worry about that tonight. So for now, one lap, and I feel like the 99 is pretty good for that.
There's some things that are different this time around from a year ago. For one, the weather, but the tire is different as well. Do you feel those balance changes at all just in that short practice session?
A little bit, Jamie. I think that the biggest thing is definitely the weather. You know, we're like 20 degrees cooler than last time that we were here. The tire is a little bit different as well, the construction of the tire. And 1 year of developing, you know, 1 year of developing with these guys is a lot. You know, we have just a little bit more downforce of how these guys are getting smarter every single month. So, yeah, we're going to be definitely a little bit quicker than last time.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in qualifying.
Smarter every day, Mike.
Yes.
Not every month, every day. These guys in the garage, they develop these race cars on a daily basis.
Now there's the winning shirt, Weather Club, today.
He pushed that weather just outside of this racetrack for us, single-handedly.
Without the vortex.
Without DW's vortex.
Focused.
All eyes on the prize. Yes, sir. Assault Focus and Joey Logano, fastest man alive in practice so far. Can he do it? I think these Fords got a shot at this pole today.
I think they'll be good for sure in the first round on sticker tires.
Cody Ware will be the first driver to qualify. He's going to make his second start of the season. He started 31st and finished 24th at Talladega. Raced here in 2022. Started 31st, finished 35th.
A lot of grip in this racetrack. Grip and rip. Long straightaways, Kevin. You come down that front straightaway looking at turn one. You're staring straight out of wall, head on.
And right now you want to let the car do the work. And I say that because all the things that they do to the race car to make it run fast, just let the car do the work. Don't overdrive the entry to the corner. That's the part where you don't want to be able to overdrive the entry.
There you go.
Use your let-off markers that you did in practice and try to make the speed on the exit center out.
That's a term that we've always used. Grew up using it, right? Let the car do the work. And I sit there and listen to you say that. I'm like, well, what does that mean? That means don't overdrive the car. Don't overdrive that center. The crew chief, all right, we're going to pick up speed. Where's that going to be? Well, I can get in the corner a little bit harder. I can use a little bit more brake. I can get on the gas faster. All those things are the disciplinary actions that will bite you in qualifying trim. Let this car do the work. Whoa, speaking of work, things loose.
Zane Smith finished 17th at Gateway in 2022 in his only start here. That was his first ever Cup race.
There's a downshift once, twice. You know, we talk about shifting all the time, and at the end of the day, you can hear how fast that shift was right there. It's pretty easy in this car compared to what it used to be.
Well, with the way that the sequential shifter works, you just, and especially with the no-lift shift, and a lot of these guys are probably not letting off the throttle. They just use the rev limiter to
You heard it.
Yeah,
Zane Smith.
to bang that car into gear. Zane ran a 33.42. He ran a
using all the racetrack there.
33.05 in practice. So hard to make lap time right off the bat on sticker tires.
Harrison Burton for the Wood Brothers made the second round of qualifying here in 2022, our first trip to this track.
It's pretty amazing. You know, again, you talk about a no-lift shift and what that Travis Kelce finally getting to the game here.
He's in the wrong city.
He's in a lot of cities right now.
Harrison, he slowed down to 10th as well from practice.
Austin Dillon finished 15th and 31st in the 2 races here. Best start of the season, 5th at Talladega.
So right now, as you see these first cars go, Clint, they're cleaning up the racetrack, picking the rubber up off the racetrack. You never want to go this early in the qualifying session if you're going to have a chance to be on the pole. But everybody on pit road is learning what they need to do, what the lap time needs to be. Everybody so far, let's see, 3-car, he went faster. 32.89 compared to a 33.13 in practice.
First one, right?
Yep.
Ricky Stenhouse finished 32nd in both races here. Started 12th here last year.
Say it,
Kroger on
Mike.
board on that card. Longtime sponsor.
What's on the side, Mike?
Oikos?
Hey, better you than me. You said it.
Well, I was talking about the one on the hood, Kroger, longtime sponsor at JTG and everybody.
And they do a great job of merchandising that sponsorship
Yes, sir.
among the brands.
Kept that alive for a long time.
All right, so this is going to be
Checker.
confusing because the same sponsor is on 3 of the Stewart-Haas cars. I'm
Let me
sure it's
explain it.
coincident with this week's announcement, but here is Ryan Preece,
Well,
who
one's got
finished 17th in his only start here last summer. The 3 cars have identical hoods, sides, deck lids, different color roofs.
Yeah, one's black and then one's white, and I think one's red, right? That's how we're going to decide them. I think this,
Yes.
you see Priest with the black roof on his. I think it was, that's what it is.
Hey,
that's how you're going to
That's the
decipher
problem.
them.
The problem is you're thinking.
No. They are different, and that's the only thing that's different.
The roof?
Yeah, the roof.
Okay.
And the number. Thank gosh we're not at Talladega or Daytona calling that.
4th for Preece, 33.22.
You think these drivers aren't studying data and watching every move of these drivers?
And I'm preaching to my driver right now. Just do the same thing you did in practice and let the car do the work, because a lot of these guys are running slower.
All right, our comparison in the lower right will be to the bubble, which right now is Cody Ware, as Carson Hocevar makes his run. As we mentioned, he made his Cup debut here last year in the number 7. Was running right outside the top 15 when he had brake trouble.
Carson has a good race car. He was good in practice, well, fastest. I think it's a good track for him.
Got up the racetrack a little bit in 3 and 4.
You always remember your first. You know, it was always that way for me. You go back to that first race. Maybe not you, Kevin. That's what it's been like 25, 30 years ago.
I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone.
Now you're starting to sound like me.
Daniel Hemrick, first Cup start at Gateway. He's finished top 10 in both truck starts here. Gateway is the former name of Worldwide Technology Raceway.
See, another one. Rest my case. Means something. You come back.
I'm sorry, I missed that. What happened?
First racetrack, good racetrack for him. Top 10s.
It was a good first racetrack for me too. I won my first Busch Series race here. Won the first.
Not so much for me. This was the first big track that I ever came to. I was telling you that before we went on the air. Race late models. Half-mile track was the biggest track that I ever went to. I remember I pulled on this racetrack thinking, my gosh, we could have built 7 racetracks with the asphalt they took on this. Then I went to Talladega.
All right, Harrison Burton on the bubble now for Austin Cindric, who has made the final round of qualifying in both trips here. Finished top 13 in both races.
Needing a turnaround, needing some points. Need to get some stage points and collect those almighty points if we're going to make the playoffs with Austin Cindric and company on the 2 car.
These cars should qualify good, and I really expect them to qualify good in this first round here, because these Fords, for whatever reason, they qualify good on sticker tires, and then the cars don't turn as good in the second round. But sticker tires, they have an absolute good scenario to put themselves in position for the top 10.
Yeah, 96 points out of the playoff scenario.
With the Cindric fastest so far, with the pending weather, if we don't get to the second round, as long as every driver has a chance to qualify in round 1, that will determine the starting lineup. And right now, Austin Cindric is fastest. Welcome back to qualifying for the Cup Series. Austin Cindric is fastest of the 12 so far. Daniel Hemric on the bubble. We're halfway through Group A qualifying. Waiting to send Chris Buescher. Larry Mack?
Yeah, you know, you heard Daniel Suarez talking to Jamie Little about looking at the SMT data from all the other drivers. And one observation about Austin Cindric, every driver uses a ton of brake getting into 1, not as much getting into 3. Austin used a lot of brake getting to both ends, but he got off the brake quick. He used it hard, but he didn't stay on the brake pedal. That's one thing that kind of separates him right now from those other 8 drivers that's been out there yet.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Larry.
he only picked up a 10th there, Kevin. I think this track's got more in it as we go.
Chris Buescher started 27th and finished 12th here last summer.
Well, Larry's right. This is a heavy braking track right in the initial part of the braking zone. You downshift a couple times, so you want to, as we get into those foot cams, you want to roll out of the brake as fast as you can. And I think in qualifying you can probably get away with a little bit of roll, but not much.
Well, I think that's what you saw.
Off of both
got
pedals.
off to the brakes a little bit there. The car rolled out from underneath him. You saw him lose the speed again, down in 3. Losing the speed getting in, but just like Larry was alluding to, got back to the throttle quick and went back around that ghost car of Daniel Hemric.
And he takes over the 5th spot.
That's
From Hemric.
not the lap that Chris Buescher was looking for, though. Car was nervous for sure getting into the corner.
Eric Jones had a birthday this week, turned 28. Finished 7th here in 2022. But struggled in practice earlier.
Man, I'll
gonna
trade him. It was the same day I did. Mine was not 28 years old.
What are you, 65?
Pretty close. Good lap going for Eric Jones.
I forgot your birthday.
Starting to got in the corner. You see the difference. Look at the ghost car and Chris Buescher. He was loose getting into the corner, lost some speed there, and never was able to capture that back.
So Jones goes to 4th.
Here's one. Fastest car in practice. Let's see if he can back that up. 32.60 in practice. 32.62 on his teammate Cindric so far. Fastest car.
Yeah, this is going to give us a good measuring stick of where the racetrack grip is, what the lap time needs to be. Always a good qualifier.
There it is. How much faster he was able to get to the gas, but he couldn't stay with it on the exit. Had to lift a little bit of the wall. You heard it in the throttle, and look how much momentum that he lost down the backstretch.
Not sure what happened on exit there, Paul.
Channel 2.
Second for Logano, 32.77. That knocks out Ricky Stenhouse. Moves Eric Jones onto the hot seat for Kyle Busch.
All on the exit of 2.
Kyle won here from the pole last year. He's finished top 2 in both races at this track.
Grip and rip right there. Drove it into the corner. Hard, got that thing rotated, and immediately back to the floorboard.
Second, 32.70. That'll knock out Eric Jones and move Carson Hocevar onto the bubble for Ross Chastain, who made the final round in both races here.
The boss.
Yeah, Ross the boss. Yesterday you would have been jealous. We drank beer out of the pigtail of the at the brewery yesterday.
Yeah, always
Always
awesome
fun.
stop here at St.
Yes.
Louis. Very jealous of you over the years of having that sponsorship.
Oh, you're going to have to
right.
explain that. You drank out of the pigtail?
Yes, right out of the 111,000 gallons of beer in the tank that came fresh before it even.
How many gallons?
111,000.
That's a lot of good times right there.
111,000.
Back to the throttle very early, and Hart was able to stay with it. Creeping back by him to the start-finish line.
Fourth for Chastain, knocks out Hocevar.
Yes, sir. Good lap.
And that will lock Austin Cindric into the final round.
Her man's on the racetrack.
Standing up for him.
That's what I love about our fans. So loyal.
Passionate.
Loyal.
Passionate.
Right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Car. That's
Great.
a very good
Great
analogy of letting the car do the work.
This is just a place where you talked about it earlier. You got to drive in hard, but you cannot overdrive the corner. You got to be able to get off the brake and get back to the throttle, and you see it again in 3 and 4.
Yeah, as soon as that car rotated, he was able to get right back to the throttle. Still not the lap that I was looking for. I thought this track was going to be faster than this. I think the cars have slowed down. These are all adjustments that everybody on that pit road are looking at. This guy right here on the pole last weekend, can he make it 2 in a row?
Bowman to fourth. That knocks out Dillon. Puts Chastain on the bubble for Ty Gibbs, who got his first career pole last week in Charlotte. So Kyle Busch is locked in to the final round.
And he let the car roll quite a bit, but you see how it turned back down, was able to exit low, kind of diamond the corner. Look at the speed down the back straightaway, momentum. These Toyotas were fast, all of them parked on pit road early, happy with their cars in practice.
Yeah, and you hear him pick up the throttle just a little bit, get that mid-corner speed, and be able to put the throttle down on the exit. But
look how low he was on the exit.
Second for Gibbs. That will knock Chastain out of the Fast Five. Bowman to the bubble, and Kyle Busch is locked in. Christopher Bell got his second win of the season last week.
And watch this confidence. I promise you, confidence is everything in sports. We know that. Watch momentum. The old Mo. It's going to show up right here.
we had a great interview with Christopher Bell this week. Talked about getting booed in victory lane for the first time in his whole life.
Had to lift at the wall. And pay the price there down the back straightaway. Look at the momentum. Speaking of Mo, lost that momentum down the back stretch. Can he make up for it in 3 and 4?
Wow, he sent it in there.
Got off that brake, let the car roll. Shows you the speed in a race car. Paid the price off of 2, though. He's going to want that one back. Might have another chance at it.
And Bell is locked in. Second fastest. Denny Hamlin, top 5 finishes in his last 4 races. So the final spot here is going to be Hamlin or Logano.
Hey guys, one thing that separates Austin Cindric from the other 4 in the top 5, he's the only one that went to 3rd gear down in 3 and 4. Everybody else just went to 4th. That's one thing that's different about Cindric's lap.
All right, Larry, I'm glad that you pointed that out, and every driver, every team has noted that as well. Keep an eye on that for us. Let us know if everybody follows suit as we go. Look at this lap, Kevin.
It's a great lap.
Top of the board, Denny Hamlin. And Joey Logano will not make the second round of qualifying, earning a spot in the 6th row. So Denny Hamlin is fastest with 32.58. Getting ready for Group B qualifying. Here's Jamie.
Well, we're almost 1 week removed from the chaotic day that was Sunday, and I know the heartbreak of what Sunday was like. Kyle, but what's it been like this week, just kind of decompressing after everything that happened and transpired?
Yeah, we had a test on Tuesday, and it was good to get back behind the wheel of this car with this team, and got to win a sprint car race last night, so hopefully find some speed here for qualifying and make the final round.
Winning helps everything, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And I haven't won much. I haven't won much in the sprint car this year, so it was good to get back to victory lane.
Good to see you back.
I knew that was coming. He's been beat up pretty bad, and that sprint card has been bothering him.
Oh, it's terrible.
Got him,
absolutely terrible.
Got him a win. Which, if you know him, probably meant more to him than about anything.
It's a different world that Kyle Larson lives in, to be able to win all the races and do all the things that he does. He races a ton, but if he's not winning, I mean, it matters to him. And he took a lot of the heat last week for the sliding of the tire on the pit road and beat himself up pretty bad. But man, that kid's a stud.
All right, Derek Kraus was the first driver out in Group B, 5th start of the season, and here is Corey LaJoie.
Mashing on that loud pedal.
Corey ran the number 9 here last year, finished 21st.
Pedal never moved in that shift, Kevin.
Nope. It's pretty much the norm in the world that we live in today, the no lift shift.
So explain that.
Yeah, I mean, basically it works off the rev limiter. You'll see his foot never come off the gas pedal, and basically you just put a little tension on the shift lever, and as soon as it gets close to the rev limiter, it falls into gear.
And it does that because on a normal shift, you have to burp the gas a little bit. Take that tension off the gear, enables that thing to come out of gear and slide into the next one. That rev limiter does that. Just takes just enough tension off the gear that it'll slide right into the next.
Noah Gragson up next. Started top 5 in half of the last 4 races. Finished 33rd here last year in his only start at this track.
He'll better that.
What do you see right here, Clint?
I see these guys gaining momentum, and that's what I appreciate about it. Bad week in Stewart-Haas, right? If we're talking about Stewart-Haas, it was a tough week for them, but they're going to get it collected, and they're going to get the speed back in this race car. The 10 car has been on a really good roll, and that 4 car has as well. And right. I see them both possibly.
I see Danica Patrick.
Yes, for sure. We were a teammate of her, speaking of Stewart-Haas, teammate with that green race car and a number 10 on the side of it.
Looks a lot like the paint scheme that she had with GoDaddy.
Yep.
But they have struggled.
John Hunter Nemechek making his first Cup start here. He won here in the Xfinity Series in 2017.
Much like his teammate Eric Jones, was down the sheet quite a bit in race trim. Let's see if he can find the speed in the single lap run here. It goes a long ways to a better day on Sunday. Starting up front, clean air. Helps all those scenarios. Better pit road selection. Just so many things can stack up against you if you don't get a good lap in qualifying.
And he'll be 4th of 4.
You see how much. You could hear how much slower that shift was right there than what Corey LaJoie had with a no lift. He heard him lift out of the gas and bomb, where LaJoie was just bam, right into gear.
Pay no attention to those raindrops on the lens. Here's Ryan Blaney, who started top 5 in both races here and finished top 6 in both.
Larry liked this car right here. Said he had some speeds, candidate for a pole. Let's see what he's got. Tell him, Larry. Well, I'll sell him. Looks like he's pretty good through 1 and 2. A lot of green here, Larry. I'm seeing a lot of green.
I'm watching gear, brake, and throttle right now.
Looks like he's hitting all 3 of those pretty well. Uh-oh, lost a little bit of time.
He did not go to 3rd gear. He stayed in 4th gear. Downshifted to 4th only down there, unlike Cindric.
And lost a little bit of speed down there.
32.66 puts him on top of the board.
Good lap. You were right.
And bumping will begin with John Hunter Nemechek on the bubble. Here's Justin Haley. Top 12 in practice. Finished top 20 in his 2 starts here. He won a truck race here in 2018.
Rolled the center with some speed, exited that diamond, got a low exit. When he got to the gas, he stayed with it. Exactly what you're looking for in 1 and 2. Looks pretty moto rad so far. Uh-oh. See more raindrops, Mike.
3rd for Haley. That will bump Nemechek. So we're going to take a break with Ryan Blaney, fastest in Group B so far. Chase Briscoe won the pole here 2 years ago, finished 14th. 8 top 10 starts this season. Let's see if he can transfer to the second round.
First thing I notice is that brake pump. Watch this. Have it.
Look how little that steering wheel moves right there. There's a lot of things that dissect through that watching along.
Briscoe is 4th. Jamie?
Austin Cindric's second fastest in that first group. Everybody talking about shifting here. How can it be a benefit or hinder you at times here?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely awkward, especially when the pace is this high as far as what your choices are. And I think it just depends on car balance, kind of where you feel like the power band in your engine's strong or not. You know, I feel like this is definitely a track where you're going to have to use it and make those decisions sometimes in traffic, you know, split second before the corner. But otherwise, yeah, really fast today with the overcast conditions. Freightliner Ford Mustang definitely has some speed. This has been a really great track for Team Penske over the last few years. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to execute. I really, 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 really hope that we get all of qualifying in today so I can start at least in the top 10. So yeah, solid execution so far.
Start doing that rain dance. There's a little sprinkle still in the air.
That's a great point. Think of the difference that will make.
Well, and one thing that I take out of that conversation that I remember from the Fords, the power band is always highs on a Ford engine compared to a Chevy engine, Toyota engine, and being able to shift puts those guys in a better box as far as the power band of their engine.
Always liked RPM.
Yes.
So Daniel Suarez will not transfer to the final round. Here's Kyle Larson. Finished 12th and 4th here. He has 3 poles already this season. Chevrolets were not near the top of the board in practice. See what happens here.
It's a good lap going. Lost a little bit in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he had a great 1 and 2.
Second for Larson. Bumps Derek Kraus, moves Briscoe to the bubble.
Remember, Denny Hamlin, 32.58. That first group.
Todd Gilliland has 2 starts here and a best finish of 15th here last June. Finished second here twice in the Truck Series. Whoa.
Oh, whoa, that's a moment. A lot of things can attribute to that. A downshift, loose into the corner. A lot of different things. When you're downshifting once, twice, getting into the corner, that promotes a loose end condition.
And you're immediately rolling out of the brake pedal, right? So you use it on the straightaway and you start rolling off of that brake pedal as you go down into the corner to transition back into the throttle.
So this is what proved costly to his run.
Yeah, it started. He was loose for a football field.
Michael McDowell has 2 poles this year and finished 9th here last summer. Front Row Motorsports, they're losing McDowell, but they're going to expand to 3 teams next year. So that's 2 seats open.
This guy has been a phenomenal qualifier this year, and the speed is there again this week in Gateway.
Oof. All right, Chase, you can get out.
Yep, top of the board for McDowell, and that bumps Briscoe.
That's a lap. I'll tell you how good it is.
It's
we
a
have a
new track record.
See, Kevin, you'll have to.
It's just fun to do.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that a couple times.
Okay. Josh Berry. Top 10s in the last 2 races. This is his first Cup start here.
In this race car, right?
Yes, for sure. Rodney, one of
the racetrack. Hang on.
One of the things that Rodney told me when I came to the 4 car is we're going to qualify a lot better. I thought I was a bad qualifier until Rodney decided that I was going to be a good qualifier and the things that he did with the car.
Justin Haley on the bubble here.
Not a good lap.
Yeah, and in today's world, as we see Bubba Wallace take the green flag, in today's world, you have to qualify good. You have to be able to qualify at the front of the race, at the front of the pack to get the race started so that you can get the stage points, so that you can get a good pit stall. There's so many benefits to making your weekend good on qualifying day right now.
Yeah, there's so many layers that stack up against you. And it was a little slip up, right? One little slip up, and it's a difference between, what is he, ninth and you know, making the final round.
Bubba Wallace has a truck win here, 5 top 10s this season. And he is third fastest. That bumps Haley and moves LaJoie onto the bubble. Here is Martin Truex, who finished top 10 in both races here, 5th last summer, and an Xfinity Series win here in 2004.
These Gibbs cars are fast, all the Toyotas for that matter.
Well, the good news for us,
Clint, to be good.
There's only one Bass Pro Shop car in the field
right.
this week. So last week we had 3 of them.
Headquarters right here in the state of Missouri, right down in Springfield.
Truex trying to make the final round for the 9th time this season.
Flew into Springfield this week. Man, that is Bass Pro country. The Ozarks. Hi, Corey.
And he will not bump Corey LaJoie by about 8/100ths of a second. So that will lock Michael McDowell into the final round. Here's Chase Elliott. Has the best average finish of all drivers in the field. Finished 21st here 2 years ago. He's trying to make the final round for the 10th time this year.
Discipline, easy in, hard off. Was disciplined getting into the corner. Got to the throttle. That hard off I was talking about. And look at the difference. Look at the momentum down the back straightaway. Very disciplined. Same thing 3 and 4. Did not overdrive the entry. Got the most of the lap on exit. Losing a little bit of speed here right at the line.
And LaJoie hangs in there. As Elliott misses it by 7/1000ths of a second.
And Corey commentates as we show him on camera to be bumped out every time.
Tyler Reddick finished top 10 in 6 of the last 9 races, including his Talladega win. He has started top 10 in both races here.
I got bad news for Corey.
Yep.
Things go
easy
according to plan. I know it.
Easy.
He's got to piece it together. But these Toyotas, again, very fast in practice. I look for this guy to be able to find it down here in 3 and 4. Stay in that green. Stay in the green.
So Blaney is locked in.
Corey. Got bad news for you.
Head to Chili's.
Reddick locks himself into the final round. And that bumps LaJoie.
I could use some Chili's right now.
All right, 2 to go.
Stop. Good stop.
Brad Keselowski, top 2 in 4 of the last 6 races. Started outside pole at Darlington.
You know what you call that, Mike? Bad Brad. He is back.
So it is Keselowski and Byron against Wallace and Larson for the final 2 spots.
Gosh, Clint, I look at that scoreboard and I have to look twice every time I look at it. But with as fast as Michael McDowell's lap is, that's 3/10.
Well, I know that I'm a long ways away from him, but if you'd have been listening to what I said, he's
I never listened to you.
Qualifier. That is a really fast lap.
Brad Keselowski bumps Kyle Larson out of the Fast 5.
As fast as Denny Hamlin was in that first group, he only ran a 58, so McDowell's 31, to your point.
And Keselowski locks in Bubba Wallace. So the final spot is between Keselowski and William Byron.
It's not every day that you're 3/10 faster than the field.
Best Chevy in this group so far is Larson in 6th. 6/100ths off of the Fast 5.
Good looking race car this week.
And Keselowski hangs on by 3/100ths of a second. to a spot in the final round. Michael McDowell with a new track record is fastest. Round 1 is in the books.
This is the make or break moment. The chance to carve your name into the history books. This is the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Michael McDowell debriefing after setting a new track record in round 1 of qualifying here. 32.318. Almost 0.3 faster than the field, Jamie.
Fastest man in St. Louis. Mike Joy just mentioned it. A new track record for you. So, Michael, what made the difference? Because this is by far your best qualifying effort at this track.
Yeah, we just had a really fast Siteman Cancer Care Center Ford Mustang. It wasn't really that big of a lap. Just nice and smooth, kind of hit my mark. So, really proud of everybody at Front Row Motorsport, Travis Peterson and the guys. You know, the car was dialed in, so just got to go out there and hit my marks here, not make any mistakes. But yeah, it's awesome to have this kind of speed. A big weekend. We're gonna have a special member with us tomorrow. I got to spend some time at the Children's Hospital yesterday with Siteman and met some really special friends. So hopefully we can get a pole for them.
All right, you're going for your 3rd pole of the season. What, if anything, can you do differently this time?
Don't screw it up. You know, but everybody's gonna have an opportunity to work on their stuff. Obviously, we hit the balance right. So it's not easy, right? Those guys are going to make improvements, make gains. I just got to go execute just like we did there and see where we stack up.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Kevin, that's been the challenge with the Fords, and you alluded to it earlier, you know, backing that up the second time around on old tires.
Yeah, you got to make the car turn in the middle of the corner on hot tires. So we'll see what happens.
Daytona always brings the drama. From the pre-race highs until the bright lights shine.
Everything's on the line. The risk will be higher.
3 wide.
Look how insane this is.
Gunning to keep playoff hopes alive. It's now or never.
It's the most stressful night of racing that you'll ever go through.
For an unforgettable weekend of family fun, high wattage star power, and a front row seat full of fireworks. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
5 Toyotas in the final round of qualifying here. Let's meet one of those drivers. Jamie?
Well, Bubba Wallace making the walk down pit lane. That's a good sign because he's moving on to the 2nd round. So qualifying here has been good for you. 7th in the first 2 outings the last 2 years. What do you think? Can you better it?
Yeah, that's good to know. Is I couldn't remember anything about this place last year, or let alone 2 years ago. So qualifying 7th. I know we've ran okay here, so we put a lot of emphasis into this weekend. Just a little bit on the tight side. We made a move from practice qualifying and it wasn't enough. So just kind of exposing the car right now in the areas that I need it to be better. But all in all, good weekend here. McDonald's, St. Louis, had a lot of history here. It's been good.
You know, when you guys as racers come to the track, you don't just show up and race. You guys put in the time in a lot of these towns. Yesterday you did something special with your team. What was that?
Yeah, we went to the Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club right down the road from here, and was getting it summer prepped. We were hanging up all the pictures, fixing up, hanging TVs, just making it look good for when the kids come through the summer hours. So that was a lot of fun, getting the guys involved, and yeah, it's just the small things you do. They always add up, so it makes you feel good at the end of the day.
Nice job by you. You're going to have the day free. You going back to your bus? You're going to work on some Legos? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I got a Lego set I need to work on. I'm not to the extent of Willie B, but we share on what we have going on. So I got that, and I got my laptop or my gaming PC on the bus. So we'll see. I might just take a nap. I don't know. I like to sleep. So
don't sleep. The truck race is coming up, and I have great news, guys. The sun is coming out.
All right.
Things have changed, Kevin.
William Byron.
Legos. Is that a what?
That's a Boston Dynamics robot.
Well, of course.
You can call it a dog, but
well, what else would you call it?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is awesome. Check that out.
You need one of those, Clint.
I'm speechless. I don't even know. I don't know where to go after the Legos.
Well, William Byron is the Lego building king of the garage area right now, and you know where he got that from?
Where?
Jeff Gordon.
Really?
Yes.
Also,
huge Lego builder.
Legos, video games, and naps. The game has changed.
That came from Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 Toyotas, 4 Fords, and Kyle Busch's Chevrolet. In fact, this is the first time all season Hendrick Motorsports has not had a car in the final round of qualifying.
I seen that. Wow, you playing for the fucking White.
Uh-oh.
All right, Group A will go first. Kyle Busch ready to roll off. That Rebel Bourbon Chevrolet. You know that stuff's 100 proof.
Well, I like it.
Good.
I like being a rebel, and I like bourbon. Perfect fit.
You're too old to be a rebel.
I'm running out of rebel. No, you're 100% true.
I love that.
I am running out of rebel.
When I can get a short answer out of you, that means that
Buddy,
we're putting your mind to work.
that birthday bothered me this week. I saw it online. And
65?
I was like, wow, that's a number, man. You know how it resonates with you is you remember your dad, right? I remember when he turned that, and I was like, I thought he was older than dirt, and here I am.
Creeping in.
Guess this, my son. You know what I got out of cash this week? He texted me happy birthday. Text me happy birthday. I called him immediately. I said, buddy,
wait a minute.
this is not
and you were home?
Text me happy birthday.
Gosh.
Oh, no, I've been out on the road,
all right.
and he was home.
Well,
He said, well, I meant to call you. I said, yeah, busted.
all right, Kyle Busch, 32.704 in round 1. A little sunshine on the track now.
Yeah, that'll change the game, Kev.
You heard a little bit. You heard a lift of the throttle on the exit of turn 2. That's going to be what you don't want to do.
.32.842. So a fall off of 14 100ths from round 1. Ty Gibbs, 32.698 in the first round. Ooh. .814. Fall off of 12 100ths.
Always fun to hear these guys do the work inside the car, the shifting. The drivers are so busy at this racetrack with all the downshifting, upshifting, the way that you use the brake. It's just it's a busy lap every time around for the drivers.
Christopher Bell was 32.681 in round 1.
We talked to Christopher Bell this week on the podcast, and just to hear him talk, Clint, well, we talk about it all the time, just the speed that the 20 car has. They've had a tough 8 weeks, but to come back and win the Coke 600
Fixes it.
Fixes it. Winning cures all.
Always does.
He's fastest, 32.687. That's a fall off of only 6 1/1000ths.
So now the question on everybody's mind is where's the fall off? Is it just the tires? Is it the fact that the sun comes out? Probably a little bit of both. All that goes into the equation.
Christopher Bell, quick back to the throttle, allowed him to just about equal his round 1 time. Austin Cindric, 32.62 round 1.
Rolled that middle of the corner very well. Was able to stay to the gas. Kept the momentum down the backstretch. Can he do the same in 3 and 4? Good Art getting in. Stays on the bottom lower than Bell. Driving off into the sunset here. Got a ways to go for the sunset, but he's going to do it.
32.577. Austin Cindric is the first driver to better his first round time, and he does it by about 5 100ths.
Good speed in 11 car. Denny Hamlin in the first round. Ran a 58. See what he's got.
Yeah, and as the sun comes out, Clint, you want to go as quick as possible, because if the racetrack heats up, the speed is going to immediately go down.
Definitely lost speed and right in the middle of 1 and 2 rotation and getting back to the throttle.
Boy, those Toyotas have good mid-corner speed, though. We've seen that all day. Hamlin third, 32.72. So that's a fall off of 14/100ths. Austin Cindric betters his round 1 time, and he is fastest after the 5 drivers from Group A have made their second round pass. Austin Cindric is fastest, 14 Penske, after the Group A drivers have made their final round qualifying lap, 32.577. 5 drivers to go from Group B, beginning with Brad Keselowski, who ran a 32.67 in round 1. That time, if he backs it up, would be good for second right now.
Hey guys, Denny Hamlin just told Chris Gabehart, I'm not sure if the sun has made a difference, but the track was substantially different there on that lap versus his lap in the first round. And just like in round 1, Austin Cindric went to 3rd gear, both ends of the racetrack. Of the 5 that's qualified so far, he's the only one that's went to 3rd gear in 3 and 4.
Well, that's going to be a rhythm thing, because you have to have your brake pressure adjusted to the downshift that slows you down into the corners. So it's going to be hard for these guys to adjust to that in turns 3 and 4, because they really don't know how much brake pressure they need to use with that downshift. But you see the acceleration from Cindric compared to Keselowski right there with the difference in gear and the way that he's able to accelerate.
Rolled the middle well too. Rolled the center of both ends very well. And when he got to the gas, just like you talked about, he was able to stay with it. Very affirmative.
Keselowski 8/100ths off of his round 1 time. Here's Bubba Wallace, 32.66 in the first round. And if he backs it up, that would be good for second right now.
Drove it in there hard, got loose.
Watch the penalty he pays. Had to chase it up the racetrack. All the way down the backstretch. Slow to the throttle. These long straightaways, you just continue to pay the price.
Full sun on the racetrack now as Wallace completes his lap.
Now it's making a difference, in my opinion. This track is drastically changing.
Well,
32.77, that's an 11/100ths fall off.
I think the track is changing a little bit, but I think how far Bubba drove it in the corner, definitely.
Both ends too.
Yeah, had to use more brake, didn't get through the middle of the corner and back to the throttle like Austin.
Got too greedy.
Ryan Blaney was 32.66 in round 1.
If somebody knocks Cindric off of this pole, they're going to earn it. This track is definitely heating up.
Look at that.
It's going to lose grip. That's the center that I was talking about. But Blaney, when he got back to the gas, boy, he sure gripped and ripped through 1 and 2. Let's see if he can hold it in 3 and 4. A lot of sun down on that racetrack. Rolled to center well, just like Cindric compared to the competition. Even better than Cindric, but look at the throttle difference. Here he comes back.
Second for Blaney by 4/100ths. He ran a 61. So he was also, like Cindric, 5/100ths faster than his first round time.
Stay disciplined in this race car.
And
take what it'll give you.
This is a racetrack that you can do that, Clint, because you'll see these markers going into turns 1 and 2. There's a 3-2-1. You got to have the good markers to do the same thing that you did in practice, the same thing that you did in the first round. Do not overdrive this car. But you see Tyler Reddick way off into the corner.
Easy to do, but he was able to stay to the throttle. Here he comes. Had to lift a little bit at the wall. Lost it.
And just that late to the throttle doesn't pay off down at the end of the straightaway. So that's where Austin Cindric, you see it braking again. He's going to be late to the throttle on this end because of how deep he got into the corner.
Disciplined.
Reddick was 32.65 in round 1. Here's a 32.70. So a fall off of 5/100ths.
One more bullet to dodge. It was the track record holder. Here he comes, Michael McDowell.
It's a big one. If he gets the same fall off as everybody else, he would still be on the pole.
And just do what you did in the first round, Michael.
Just stay disciplined. Hit them marks.
Let the car do the work.
Yes, sir.
32-31 in round one for McDowell, seeking his third pole of the year and third of his career. All of his poles have come this season.
You see, he just rolled with speed, faster into the corner, through the corner, exit in the corner.
It's going to be an all Ford front row, no matter what.
Nate, yes, sir. Here he comes. He's going to get it.
From a 32-31, Michael McDowell.
How about that?
Clocks in at 32-46. He falls off 15/100ths. The biggest fall off of any of the top 10. Still wins the pole.
These guys have done a phenomenal job of figuring out Saturdays. Man, they're fast. Qualifying speed almost every single week. Great job, guys. Big day.
Jamie.
And great starting spot for Austin Cindric, who ties his best start, starting on the front row for the second time. What was that like? I know you thought they were all going to pass you, as they did on the entry, but at the end, you had to wait for the final 34 car.
Yeah, I know I got some really good exits, which makes watching that really, really frustrating, because you know they're all going to pass you on entry. It's just whether or not you got enough. But yeah, obviously the 34 guys did a great job. Michael definitely put two really great laps together, and felt like I got it all on our end. So I felt like I left a little bit on the table the first round. So good to gain on the second. So yeah, Freightliner Ford Mustang's fast, but stick with front row for now.
This has been a good place for you, run top 11 both races here. How beneficial is it to start up front where you are and get that pit selection?
It's important as long as I don't speed on pit road. That's a critical aspect of this, at least my race last year. So execution super important. You know, tire strategy, where the cautions fall are going to be super important for tomorrow. But obviously the Penske cars are fast, and proud of the work the guys have done. Just got to go out and have a good day tomorrow.
Well done. Mike.
Well, it took Michael McDowell almost 470 career starts to win his first pole, and now he's got 3 of them in quick succession. Larry tells us that both McDowell and Cindric went to third gear at both ends of the racetrack, the only 2 drivers in the top 10 to do so. Jamie.
And how about that? Michael McDowell said he nailed it in that first round. You didn't mess it up, obviously. You get the third pole of the season. How was it from your perspective?
I was close to messing it up. I had a little moment there in turn 3. Got just a little bit loose and had to catch it. But luckily was able to recover quickly and get back in the throttle. I'm just so proud of everybody at Front Row Motorsports. I mean, I know this is our third pole of the year, but to do it at a short track, a flat track, not a super speedway, really proud of everybody. We got Siteman Cancer Center on the car this weekend, first time for them. So excited to start from the pole tomorrow. Really proud of everybody. It's a cool team effort here.
I know pit road can be treacherous. I know track position is key. So how important is this for you guys to have that #1 spot tomorrow?
Oh, it's huge here because, you know, they've widened pit road here a few feet, but we've seen it where it's just really critical to get off pit road here. And it's tight, especially as guys do 2 tires, 4 tires. So having that first stall and being able to launch from your box and have a clean shot out will be a big deal tomorrow. But right now we're going to celebrate today. We'll worry about tomorrow morning, but really proud of everybody. It's a great effort, and all of our partners, Horizon Hobby and Love's Travel Stop. And, you know, we got great partners. It's a great race team. Big news for Front Row, getting a 3rd charter this week, too. So there's a lot of great momentum happening, and we need a win. We need a win to get into the playoffs, so we're going to fight hard for it.
Love the excitement. Enjoy the celebration. Mike?
Michael McDowell's previous best start here was 17th. What a difference a year makes. We'll be back to wrap things up from Worldwide Technology Raceway, where Ford has swept the front row for tomorrow's Enjoy Illinois 300.
What do we have here? Surprise, surprise, or seen it coming? A trophy hunter or a party crasher? What if it was all that and a whole lot more? NASCAR Cup Series from St. Louis on FS1.
Welcome back. Sunshine on the racetrack. Good news for what's coming up next, which is the truck race a little later on here. Michael McDowell has won the Busch Light pole. Austin Cindric second. Ryan Blaney third. Ford sweeps the first 3 spots. Toyota the next 3. The only Chevrolet in the top 10, Kyle Busch, in row 5. Best of the rest, Byron and Logano, Larson and Bowman.
It's going to be interesting, Mike, to see if those Chevrolets can make their way towards the front. We talked about those Fords being in the first 3 positions right there. I feel like this is in their wheelhouse as far as the way that you shift in the RPM range. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with the handling of the cars as we go through these runs.
I'm glad you said that. The Chevrolets, where are they at? Not much speed today, but you know when the time's right, pay window opens, and boys will be back up front. But not so fast this day. That guy right there, impressive lap. Extremely fast. Track record. You just don't hear that much anymore.
No. Now, Michael mentioned pit road. The pit road is wider here this year because an Armco barrier out against the pit wall that separates the racetrack from pit road has been removed. This was very narrow. Not anymore.
Yeah, you can see that guardrail right there. It's gone, widening that thing out. I don't love that, Kevin. Like when there are challenges in a racetrack, keep them that way.
Yeah, well, the crew guys love that because the cars can get a little bit further away from them as they're trying to make their pit stop. But these pit stalls are long, Mike.
Yes, and that is a benefit here. They're about twice as long as the race car. Unlike what the drama last week with, let's see, Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon, all kind of backing each other up there on pit stops.
Great entertainment last week with those 2 pit stalls.
Unless you were one of those 4.
I've never seen or heard Denny Hamlin not wound up on a radio. Boy, he was mad.
Yeah, my favorite quote from last week, brother. If we have any more conversation, we're going to fight, from Chris Gabehart, Denny Hamlin's crew chief. So I love that emotion.
Well, coming up today, Xfinity Series practice and qualifying is on FS1 next from Portland. Then we'll transition to Truck Series race day on Fox and the Toyota 200 truck race from right here in Illinois on Fox. Then back to Portland for the Xfinity Series race day on FS1 and the Xfinity Series race. So a lot of racing today across the Fox network. Congratulations, Michael McDowell, new track record and his 3rd pole of the season.